Hello, grade 5 students. Students in 5-1, 5-2, and 5-3. Mr. Waterman here with today's mathematics lesson. It is Monday, November 16th, 2020. I hope everyone is doing safe and well. This video is going to be short because 5-2 and 5-3 did not have mathematics with me last week because we were forced to shut down again and go back online. I have already done the first part of this lesson with class 5-1. I did it last Monday. So students in 5-1, you can watch this video also to review what we did last week in class. I want everyone to watch last week's video first, and then you can watch the rest of this video, and you can also look at the activities that I will have for you today. Okay? Now, I'm just going to jump into the highlights. So we are working with symmetry on pages 414 to 416. Okay. Last week in 5-1, I did this experiment here with a piece of paper to fold it so we could explore line symmetry. Okay. So please remember these words: rotational symmetry and line symmetry. I went over them in the previous video. Okay? Now, for your activities, in your homework books, which I know you all have, you're going to be working on page 105 in your homework books. Now, please listen as I read through the directions, okay? Now, first you want to read the box up here. Ask yourself, does this figure look exactly the way it did before the turn? How many degrees are in a full turn, a half turn, a quarter turn, okay? So, looking here, please remember, a full turn is 360 degrees. A half turn is 180 degrees. A quarter turn is 90 degrees. Okay? For the first part, you are to trace each figure and turn it. Write yes or no to tell if it has rotational symmetry. If it does, tell how many degrees you turned it. Okay? Let's review. If you can turn a figure less than a full turn, about a fixed point, and the figure looks exactly the way it did before the turn, that figure has rotational symmetry. Okay? So let's look at this figure here. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get a piece of paper. It could just be a plain piece of white paper. And you're going to put it over the figure here. Okay? Like this. And I know you won't be able to see all that well. So I'm going to trace this figure right here. Okay? So I'm going to do this very carefully. And if you have your homework books out, you can trace it along with me. Okay. Tracing it down. And don't worry if it's not perfect, because remember, you're just meant to trace the shape to get an idea. Okay. There we go. So I've traced that shape. Here's my dot. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my shape. Rotate it on the line. Okay? So that was 1/4 of a turn. This is what it looks like at a half turn. Okay? If I rotated it a half turn, it looks the same as it did before I rotated it, right? So does this figure have rotational symmetry? What do you think? If it does, write yes. If it doesn't, write no. Okay? So that's what it looks like before the turn. I rotate it. That's 1/4. That's 1/2. That's 3/4. And that's a full turn. Okay, 360 degrees. So I would say that has rotational symmetry. Okay? Now, for the next part, it says trace each figure and fold it. Write yes or no to tell if it has line symmetry. If it does, write the number of lines of symmetry it has. Then sketch the figure and its line of symmetry. Okay? So again, you're going to trace it. You're going to trace the figure here. I'm just going to trace it very quickly. Trace your figure, and then you're going to fold it. Okay, so now I have folded it. There's my figure there. Now I'm going to open it back up. There's my figure. Okay, can you see where I'm going to have the points of symmetry? My points are there and there. Okay? For numbers 7, 8, and 9, it says use a compass, a protractor, and another sheet of paper to draw these figures. Number 7, a figure with 2 lines of symmetry. Number 8, a figure with rotational symmetry. Number 9, a figure with no lines of symmetry. Then for number 10, it says how many lines of symmetry does a circle have? Please show your work here. Then, what I want you to do is I want you to look at page 416, and we're going to look at numbers 20, 21, and 22. Please listen to the directions. Use the photograph at the right for problems 20 to 22. Number 20 says, make a list of geometric shapes you see. So on a piece of paper, you're going to make a list. If you see a triangle, please write triangle. If you see a square, please write a square. If you see a rectangle, please write rectangle. If you see a circle, please write a circle. If you see a half moon shape, please write half moon shape. Look at the house and write down all of the geometric shapes you see. Then it says to write about it. Write a paragraph about the kinds of symmetry you see. Do you see rotational symmetry? Do you see line symmetry? If you do, talk about it. Write about all the kinds of symmetry you see. Finally, for number 22, you decide. It says windows can be squares, rectangles, circles, or semicircles. Draw the front or side of a house that has at least one line of symmetry. Decide on the shape of the house and its windows. Explain how you made it symmetrical. Okay? So on a different piece of paper, I want you to draw a house, and I want you to decide what type of windows that house is going to have. Okay? Just draw it simply. I'm just going to simply sketch. If it's not perfect, that's okay. This is just my example to show you. So there's the base of my house. That's that. And then you're going to decide what types of windows it has. Okay? That's it for today. You have plenty to keep you busy in mathematics this week, all throughout this week. Hopefully, we will see each other next week in school. Take care, be safe, and stay well. And have a great week. Bye-bye.